Hi, this presentation was done in order to show the power of Mix in PowerPoint 2013. And the presentation is on the HoloLens, and I hope you enjoy it. This gentleman is Alex Kipman, inventor of the Kinect and the HoloLens. At the moment, there's about 37 million Kinects sold up to early 2015. Expected sales for the HoloLens are unclear yet, but Microsoft is very, very optimistic on what it can do. A lot of people are getting excited about the HoloLens because of the way it works and uses the same spatial place where you're in it at the time. Kipman actually left the Kinect open so that the people from the open source community were able to apply the Kinect to an awful lot of other things as well. And it'd be interesting to see if this will apply to the HoloLens as well. So, what do we get when we buy the HoloLens? The HoloLens actually cost about $3,000, which equates near enough to the €3,000 mark as well. What do we get? We get the box to keep it in. We also get the HoloLens. We get an extra nose bridge just to put here in order to make sure that it does fit. We also get a clicker. The clicker has actually been introduced by Microsoft because some people may have problems with the gesture because the HoloLens is controlled by voice, eye movement, and hand gestures. However, just to go one step further, Microsoft introduced the clicker. Also over here in the corner, we can see there's the battery charger. So what's under the hood? Well, on the HoloLens, it has a multitude of cameras, one of which is pointed at your eyes to enable the user to interact with the eye control side of things. It also has four cameras, two on either side, for perception of where the person is actually in the room, and it has the RGB camera and a couple of other ones as well. The speakers are on the side of the head, they're adjustable, and they're not intrusive. They're not, you don't have to stick them into your ear. This because it will actually give the player or the user a better experience that is still in the real world, although they're actually using the HoloLens with the holographic image. So the HoloLens has new advancement in technology. We're very used to the CPU, the control processing unit. We also have the GPU, which is the graphical processing unit, and in the HoloLens we have now the HPU, which is the holographic processing unit. The HPU was developed by Microsoft uh, precisely for the HoloLens in order to deal with the terabytes of information required to project the image. Also, apart from projecting the image, is to give you the where the image and what the image is going to look like according to your presence in the room. So here we have the HoloLens, and as it says on the headline here, the big tech, small parcel. There's a lot of going on for such a small, obviously it kind of gives you why we're paying €3,000 for this particular item. We have the RGB camera, which is stands for red, green, and blue. The reason why we have the reason why we have these is because red, green, and blue on the small screen that's in here, which is black. We would need to mix these colors in order to come up with all the different colors. Uh, Different saturation of the red, green, and blue would make up all the different colors. For example, white, we would need to have the maximum saturation of red, the maximum saturation of green, and the maximum saturation of blue in order for us to come up with the color white. So here we have the depth cameras. I would say they're more likely to be infrared because they were found on the Kinect as well for depth perception. So that if you were using the hand gestures on the Kinect in order to click something or anything like that, you would have to put your hand forward towards the Kinect when you were playing. In order to do that, the Connect would need to know how far, and are you coming forward, are you going backwards, and basically this technology is used on the HoloLens as well. The noise cancellation microphone, I know there's a spelling mistake here, but it has nothing to do with me. It's just the way the picture came. So the noise cancelling microphone is very good. For when you're talking to your friends or anything like that. It would also it takes away, or if you're trying to listen to something in the thing when you're playing, it would also cancel out. This is basically left speaker, which is here. It's also, you're able to move it back and forth for adjustments. um, we said earlier that the speakers are not stuck in your ears in order to make you aware of your surrounding world. The tightening adjuster here, it's basically this little wheel here, and it will tighten these particles here, these sides here, closer together in order to make it tighter or looser. We also have this particular ring here, which also can tilt forward or backwards. The headphone ports was put in here in order to say, if you weren't happy enough with these speakers, and you want to immerse yourself into the world of what you're doing, you can actually have the headphone port as well. The projector is where the projector, somewhere up here, will project onto the projection prism glass, which is actually a very specialized glass in order for us to be able to see the holograms. The nose pad speaks for itself. It's basically there just to put the whole thing stabilized on our head. And the tilt mechanism is just basically, again, it's for the projection prism switchable glass, to be able to adjust it to the way the person wants it themselves. So virtualization versus augmentation. Virtualization, as it says, substituting the reality for digital reality. Well, what does that actually mean? Well, on this particular picture that we see, we have a gentleman walking on a platform. The platform has sensors in it. It picks up where you move your feet, how you move them, whether you're running, walking, sideways, or going backwards. The gun also has sensors where it picks up whether you're pointing it, where you're pointing it, how you're firing, and to who you're firing it. And the oculus on the head will actually gives you the impression or the illusion that you're somewhere where you're not. But you're basically cut off from the rest of the world. Augmentation is totally different. Nobody else has what HoloLens have. You're not cut off from reality. You're not in another different world or anything like that. You're still in your own sitting room or in your friend's house or whatever. Augmentation is the real world with digital enhance occupying the same space. As it says, occupying the same space. You're very much aware of what's going around the, what is around you. If somebody was to call, whether you could just basically turn around and look at them, even though you're in the middle of a game like this gentleman is on the right hand side. The bottom picture, I think it's actually self-explanatory. It's gone a few years ago. Sensors, every kind of almost every joint of the body, including the head, so that the computer, the sensors beside the computer, will pick up where you were or where you are and what you're doing. So the HoloLens, very powerful computer in its own right. It has, as stated earlier, a processing unit. It has a control processing unit. It has a graphical processing unit and a holographic processing unit developed by Microsoft. The It has no wires or anything like that to impede people walking around the room. It has a battery life of about 3.5 to 5 hours. But is very, very powerful in itself in its own little right because of the fact of the way it gives us the perception of what we see in front of us. For example, this lady is looking at the T-Rex skull here. However, obviously it's not there. But if she decided to walk around to this side and view this side of the head, uh, the HoloLens would have to process that information as she is walking around. The picture would have to be altered that she will see it from this side now. Sorry, from this side. And then as she gets to this position, the picture that will be processed and shown in her in her eyes will be from here. So this is the picture that she will see. But as she walks around this side of it, the projection will be of this part of the T-Rex. So it will have to the HoloLens calculate the position of the person in the room at any given time, and because of that awareness, as the person is walking around the holographic image that they are looking at, the HoloLens will also move the holographic projection corresponding to where the person is in the room, which is pretty awesome, pretty powerful stuff. So what is the field of view when you're looking at holograms? This is it. Hologram visible, hologram not visible. Very important to understand that. At the end of this presentation, there is a small video from Microsoft of what the HoloLens would seem to be, or what it would be like if you were to have it in the house. Now, it's a very good presentation, of course, that they have, but we will have to keep in mind of this field of view. That if they have puppies running about the place, it doesn't mean that they're actually there all the time and you can see them, or anybody else can see them for that matter. It's only people with the HoloLens, and this is how much you can see. Is it an actual problem? I don't know. The first cars didn't come out, doing 120 miles an hour or 300 miles an hour, whatever they do now at this stage. It was just, the first motor cars were there. They just done what they were doing, what they were supposed to do. The HoloLens is a breakthrough. There's no doubt about it. And field of view will get better, especially with the HPU, the holographic processing unit. As it gets faster, Microsoft reckons the field of view will actually also get bigger, because that's one of the problems, is that it doesn't have enough processing power to give you a bigger field of view at this very moment in time. However, it will get better.
This is the world with holograms. What will they enable us to do? New ways to visualize our work.
I have an idea for the fuel tank.
New ways to share ideas with each other.
How are things going your end?
I just put the images in OneDrive.
Perfect.
More immersive ways to play. New ways to teach and learn.
So put the new trap in the place of the old one.
Now what?
And tighten here and here.
New ways to collaborate and explore the places we've never been.
Look at this formation. Let's take a closer look.
And new ways to create the things we imagine. Because when you change the way you see the world, you can change the world you see. This is Microsoft HoloLens.
Singing in our things can only get better. Can only get better if we see it through. That means me and I mean you too. So teach me not to think. Can only get better. Can only get. Take it all from me, I know that things can only get better.